Well, the unrest has also spooked Asian markets because Hong Kong's benchmark Hang Seng, it tumbled about 1.7%, making it the worst performer in Asia today. Shanghai closed 0.2% lower, while Tokyo and Singapore each shed 0.4%. Mumbai and Seoul, no, they were also down, red as you can see there. Now, bank and tech stocks in Hong Kong were also in the red. Some of them had to close their branches near the protest areas. A number of companies, such as HSBC, they made flexible work arrangements for the day. Now, this drop is also fueled by the surge in the interbank rates, raising concerns about potential outflows from the city. The Hong Kong-listed Tencent Holdings also took a hit, falling as much as 2.5% today. Now, hundreds of businesses have closed in Hong Kong as a show of protest against the bill that seeks to allow extraditions to China. Demonstrators clashed with police earlier, who fired tear gas and rubber bullets in a bid to stop them from storming into the city's legislative council. Authorities have called the clashes riots. And investors fear the new bill would actually expose foreign businesses to China's legal system and threaten Hong Kong's status as a global financial hub. Well, we spoke with Dr. Yukon Huang, Senior Fellow at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace earlier, and he told us whether these concerns are valid.
Well, I think the major concern of everyone is its continued stability as a financial center and a source of providing services from the West into the mainland. So these kinds of political disturbances obviously have a very negative effect. I think there are two major points to mention. First, of course, these disturbances illustrate what I call a lack of trust in the system in the mainland, and how it would be practiced in Hong Kong. That's their first issue. There's also what I call a very special question here. After all, every country has these kinds of extradition treaties. So why is this particular one so sensitive? And why does it particularly have a meaning in Hong Kong? And that is, Hong Kong business people have been operating in China for decades. And in the past, many of those operations were basically governed by a system which didn't have the rule of law or validated practices. Today, one might even see those transactions as illegal. And the fear of some business people is that they might be prosecuted for actions they took in the past, and this would be in some ways unfair because they're operating in a system where it was not clear exactly what would be allowed. Well, I think one thing people could do is clarify whether past transgressions or past acts could be used as the basis for extradition. Because when you look what's happening on the mainland, there have been prominent business people in the mainland who have been basically taken to court or persecuted for things they did many years ago. And I think that's what worries Hong Kong business people. So clarity on defining the time limit and then the conditions under which certain kinds of acts could be used for extradition. Then there are, of course, broader concerns about whether there are political actions and others, and who would interpret those kinds of political actions as being something that could be extradited or not.